Hi guys, Dan Lorenz here. In this episode of In Their Words, Becoming Guerrilla Founders, we hear Doug and Michelle's incredible story on how embracing the guerrilla founder mentality propelled them to create wealth, total freedom, and a life they love through business franchise ownership. If you found value in this video, please subscribe, like, and share this with someone you know that will also embrace that guerrillapreneur lifestyle. Okay, guys, here I am with Doug and Michelle Lumsden. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing good.
We're doing great. Thank you.
Excellent. So I had an absolute pleasure working with you guys, but I have a few questions that I want to ask you. So the first question is, please introduce yourselves and tell everyone where you're from.
Okay, I'm Michelle Lumsden.
And I'm Doug, her loving husband.
And we are from Huntingtown, Maryland.
All right, Huntingtown, Maryland. So what's that close to? Is that close to Annapolis, kind of, about an hour away?
Yes. Yep.
About an hour away south of Annapolis and east of Washington.
Yep. We're located in Calvert County in Southern Maryland.
Excellent. And then what do you both currently do for work?
Well, I'm a program manager for a aerospace firm supporting Goddard Space Flight Center, which is in Greenbelt, Maryland. And I've been there my whole career.
And I am currently a registered nurse working in surgical services at our local hospital here in Calvert County.
Excellent. Thank you for everything. And is that going well? Are you really busy lately or what?
Well, the current COVID-19 epidemic is definitely keeping things interesting at work. Yeah.
So for people that are watching this, maybe in a year or 6 months, we are in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, and Michelle's been working at the hospital, Doug's been working at home, and they still held on to their dreams and their passions, and were able to move forward with a business, and I think it's wonderful. So let's talk about that, Michelle, because we have a different story, but how did we come into contact? If you could explain that to people.
Sure. So this it kind of happened unexpectedly. My husband was on a business trip, flying home, and in front of him, in the seat in front of him, in the pocket, on the back of the seat, there was a magazine, and he opened it up and saw an advertisement for starting a franchise with a company called Right at Home. And he brought it home to me, and he said, "Hey, this is something we've been talking about, starting a business. This is healthcare. It's in your it's in your skill set. Why don't we do something like this?" And I said, "That's a fabulous idea." So we called Right at Home, and the gentleman that we spoke to told us that our area was saturated. There were no territories available within 100 miles. He asked us if we wanted to move, and I said no. So he said, "Well, I can't help you, but would you want me to give your name to a gentleman that I know who is a franchise consultant?" And I said, "Absolutely." So that's how we met.
I know, that was so wonderful of him to do that. So I remember when I received his text message, I just landed in Atlanta, and I was going to an investing workshop that I help coach at, and I was waiting for my buddy to come down the escalator in the rental car return area, and Chuck had given me your information, and so I gave you a call and I left you a voicemail, and I was like, well, I'll just call her and see what happens. And I think I sent you a text message also, and then you did. Yeah, and then you got back to me, I think maybe a week later or something like that, and you scheduled a call, and off to the horses, or off to the races.
Yeah.
So what would you say your biggest motivation for, one, talking to this guy named Dan that's calling you out of nowhere, but also for looking for a business, right? I mean, you guys are pretty well established. You have amazing careers. I know you had an entrepreneurial adventure a few years back, but what would you pinpoint? What was the one thing that you were trying to solve in your life now that you thought maybe opening a franchise would solve?
I would say we're looking for a little more control in our lives and our ability, to grow a business and control that and be kind of, be able to do the planning, be able to, just grow a business on our own without. I've had a successful career supporting other people's business, and just thought it'd be good time in my life to start something on my own and reap the benefits of my own hard work.
What about you, Michelle?
For me, I think it's definitely a sense of autonomy. It being in control of my own schedule and working for myself, and it was definitely sometimes in nursing you feel a lack of control over the way you practice, over your schedule. Management can sometimes be problematic to deal with. That so much was not my case. I have a wonderful nurse manager. But it was just a sense of autonomy and being able to, I do take pride in my work, being able to take pride in something that I grow myself. That's mine.
And then doing something different too, we're not too far off from retirement age, but I just want to do something different in our lives, in our career, and something that we can do from home also. That was something that was attractive to me, be able to maybe work from home.
And, you both have obviously, incredible skill sets. Michelle, you owned a business, years back. So what kind of made you think about franchising instead of maybe just starting something on your own? Where did that diverge?
Well, from my point of view, I think that being in an established franchise with a proven business model, with a well-known name, is much safer an adventure than starting from scratch, because you have the support of the franchise backing you up, and you have someone to teach you how to do it. I think you are less apt to make any serious mistakes because you have the experience and the support at the corporate level, which if you start a business from scratch, you can have that. You're on your own.
Yeah. And so we were probably looking at a longer ramp up time, more cost outlay. And then, you are starting from scratch. So you don't know if your idea is going to be viable and whatnot. And so
absolutely,
you saw the utility in a franchise. And even though you didn't really know what kind of franchise you wanted, right? So
exactly.
Well,
yeah.
I think you also, certainly me anyway, you educated me on franchises and that they're not only that there are a lot out there to choose from, but just the whole aspect of it and the benefits of it. You kind of sold me on that. No one in our family has ever really had a business, so we don't really know anything about that. So that was the appeal to me, was the franchise, like Michelle said, would teach you, and you got the kind of infrastructure there to support the business.
And
go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the most helpful things that I have found about being in a franchise is the ability to talk to other franchisees.
Yeah.
Because you can learn through their mistakes, so you don't repeat the same mistakes they did. They are extremely supportive, and you're like a team Whereas if you go into a business by yourself, you are alone. You really don't have anybody else to talk to who's been where you currently are and who can help you through the tough times, especially getting started, in the beginning when you really aren't sure of what you're doing yet.
No, that's incredible because you essentially have two partners. You have current franchisees, mm-hmm. and then you have your franchisor.
Right, exactly.
And, well, that's something that a lot of people that don't have the knowledge coming into franchising and maybe don't use a franchise consultant like myself, they kind of miss that aspect. And, that was, I don't know if I shared that story with you, but that was one of the things I regret the most when I purchased my second franchise was I didn't know what a franchise consultant was. I didn't know if they were no cost or how much they cost. I didn't even look at it. It wasn't even in my mind, right? I didn't even know what it was. And so I ended up chasing a very shiny object. And even though it worked out in the end and, some things happened where we got lucky as far as, a really good franchisor purchasing the franchise, and then, the ability just to roll up your sleeves and solve problems. But I do feel like I missed out on a great opportunity, by having more things come into my skill set, like you guys both have alluded to. And so that brings me to the point is, you guys came in here through Right at Home, something that you were very familiar with, as far as being in the nursing industry and whatnot. And then how was working with me and how was I able to help you kind of get rid of those preconceived notions? And then we find a business that maybe you've never even thought about.
Yeah.
Where you're just chomping at the bit to get started.
Well, I think it really helped that you had us fill out some paperwork where we expressed to you what our interests are, and our individual skill sets, our past experiences, our past education, hobbies, likes, dislikes, what we don't want in a business, what we did want in a business. And then you were able to narrow it down into, in our case, 4 franchises that you thought would suit us best. And I was very appreciative of that because there are so many franchises out there. We would have had no idea on our own what type of franchise to go look into. And, after researching something like Right at Home or the healthcare franchises in general, we found that it probably would not have been a good fit for us. And that's what makes using a franchise consultant so beneficial, because how to narrow it down.
Yeah, and you think you know what you're looking for, and then you pointed out other options that actually were more appealing, or there was a variety, and we looked at each one of them, and the one we chose, we're really happy, and I don't think we would have found that at all if it weren't for you finding it, and then even giving us the other options to consider. Because after you look at all 4 of them, you're very satisfied with the one you picked because you thoroughly looked through each one and considered them. And you were able to give us a lot of information. I was very impressed with your level of detail that you were able to get us, and the answers you came back with pretty much had answers for everything we asked.
Well, thank you so much. And so that's an interesting detail there too, Doug, is that, even that business model, right? You could come in wanting, and we're going to tell everyone which one it is, by the way, in a minute, but you could come in wanting that, but I'm still going to give candidates other options. And I've had candidates come to me and say, yeah, I want that business model, which is the one that you chose. And then I've given them 2 others and they've been like, you know what? I think this other one is actually a better fit for me. Right.
Yeah.
And so you can find and you can come into this franchise process like, hey, I love fitness or I love healthcare or whatnot. And you can have those preconceived notions and that confirmation bias on your own, but it doesn't mean that that's what you're going to end up with, because I'm going to give you some opportunity to diversify your thoughts there, and it works out great.
Yep.
So if I would say for anyone that's listening, right, and they're thinking about starting a business or they're thinking about, maybe a franchise, what is the one thing you would want them to know? What advice do you have for them?
Well, I would just say, get the details, ask questions, understand the business model, and be open-minded. Be open-minded with other options that, like we said, you go in with a preconceived thought notion that you're pursuing this particular business, and be open for the other options and consider them. You told us don't say no to any one of them right away. Consider each one, and we did. We looked into each one, and you helped, or you dove into a lot of the details for each one to give us the knowledge that we needed to make a decision.
And then, so you found it valuable that I was in your corner.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
definitely.
I would also say, just to add to that, it's really important to do your due diligence, because I think having the support at the top, at the corporate level, the franchisor, is incredibly important, because without that support, it makes your job 100 times more difficult. And that's what that is one of the main reasons why we chose the franchise that we did, was because they have a fabulous business model and they are so incredibly supportive. You don't feel like you're alone.
No. And I think when we talked, that was one of the things I wanted you guys to know, is that moving down this path of choosing a franchise, we really wanted to investigate franchises that not only fit everything that we wanted in business, but that had the strong backing of a motivated, really strong and diligent franchisor. And so you guys definitely got that with the brand that chose you, or you chose them, either way. So let's tell everyone, what franchise are you guys going to be operating, and where are you guys going to be, and when do you hope to open?
Okay.
Well, we chose Budget Blinds, and we actually bought two franchise territories in Southern Maryland. One is in Calvert County, is the county that we live in. It's a peninsula between the Chesapeake Bay and the Patuxent River. And then north of us is, the Washington, D.C. area. And then we, the second franchise is across the Patuxent River in Charles County, which is also in Southern Maryland. So we've got a nice, fairly large area that with a lot of nice houses. And so a lot of nice communities. It's a little rural, but we'll be doing a little bit of driving, I'm sure, on our sales calls. But we're looking to go to training because of COVID-19. We're delaying our training until August and likely open in September or maybe mid-August. I think they want us to open as soon as we finish our training.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Excellent. And so when I post this video and when you guys get up and running, I'll also put a link to your website in the comments at that time. And
thanks.
Anyone in the Eastern Corridor, the Mid-Atlantic, and if you need new window treatment and Budget Blinds, you visit the link to their website and call Michelle and Doug. Let them know you saw this video and that pointed you in their direction, and support your local business owners. And I'm very excited for you guys. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to come on the journey with you. And
thank you.
It's just been a pleasure. I mean, this is the first time we've actually seen each other. So,
yeah.
And I was like, listen, I got to see your face because I love you so much.
Well, Dan, we really appreciate you. I mean, your knowledge, your professionalism, and your friendly personality. I mean, you've been great. I mean, I can't thank you enough for helping us establish this next chapter in our lives and our career. And we're hoping for success, and we'll certainly let you know how it goes. Right?
Yeah. Well, you were absolutely invaluable to the process, and you were a pleasure to work with. Truly.
It means the world to me. And listen, I have no doubt that you guys are going to get out there and rock it. You're going to have that team behind you. And, I'll still be in the Northeast area, the Mid-Atlantic area here and then. And hopefully we can, link up one night at a tavern or something, get a beer, a burger or whatnot.
I would love that.
That would be awesome.
That would be great.
I would like that.
Or we can go to a Nationals game, or maybe Redskins, if they ever play.
I'm DC all the way, but geez, that's just painful. But I'll definitely go to the I actually have good tickets, so I'll definitely we'll go. That's a fact. Okay, well, listen, if you guys are, again, looking for window treatments and you're in the Mid-Atlantic area, please see Doug and Michelle. If you're interested in just beginning the research process to look for your franchise, please contact me and I'll be happy to help you. You can find my link in the description comments, and please subscribe. Thank you.